Hello, this is Photography Gamer, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode I'll be breaking down the photo mode in Mad Max on the PS4. Aside from being a great game, Mad Max has a pretty good photo and video mode, both of which I'll demonstrate in this video with a few practical examples. In the second half of the video I'll use the video mode to demonstrate how you practice your cinematography skills and demonstrate how to edit a scene together using one long recording. Okay, let's take a look at the photo mode in Mad Max. So how do we enter the photo mode? Well, you click L3 and R3 simultaneously. That will enter the capture mode, or you can pause the game and go to the capture mode option on that menu. The L stick moves the camera around your subject, like so. The R stick rotates it around your subject. L1 and R1, these two are used for tilting. So L1 tilts left, R1 tilts right. Tilting is good if you want to add a sense of movement or dynamism to your image. The X button is capture image. So this basically removes the HUD so that you can press the share button to capture your screenshot. The triangle button enters video mode, or it switches back from video mode to photo mode settings. But more on that later. The L2 and R2 buttons switch the menu tabs at the top of the screen so you can go from one to the other, and the circle button exits the photo mode if you want to get back into the action. Right, so the tabs, we're going to go through each tab one by one. First tab, we have filters. Within that we have color filter and filter intensity. To change that, you use the D-pad left and right to change the value. That works on all of these settings. So color filters, they are what you probably imagine, same as something you'd get on Instagram. Filters that give a nice visual alteration to the shot, and the intensity acts as a 0 to 100 slider. Maximum, it's the full filter, 0 is none, in between it's kind of a touch. So it depends how intense you want it. Next tab is camera settings. So we have exposure. Raising exposure will lighten all of the brighter areas, but if you go it all the way down, it's not like brightness, it's slightly more focused on light than darkness. So I use it if I just want to brighten things or make it a moody night looking shot, even if it's not quite night. Then we have field of view. This is essentially a way of zooming in and zooming out in incremental amounts. So I use it to sort of adjust my framing. Once I've got the gist of the picture sorted, I might want to come in or out a little bit without using the joysticks because they're not as precise in terms of like set distances. Then we have blur intensity. This will dictate how deep the blurring is in the background. If you're doing a kind of a depth of field that means the main character is in focus and the background's blurry, how deep do you want the blur to be? Nice feature if you want to do sort of dreamy portraits. Then we have depth of field focus distance. So again, this dictates where the depth of field will start. So where will be the origin of the focus distance. Depth of field next, again, depth of field, focus distance, they're kind of interlinked, so you can play around with those to get the right distance and setting. But if you can't be asked with all that, you can just click autofocus on max and it will focus on max, and then just change the blur intensity and faff about with it. So, you know, the option is there. Next tab is vignette. So you can turn it on and off, choose the size, choose the intensity. What's a vignette? It's essentially a dark border around the image. The principle is if you darken the border of the image, it should draw your eye into the center. So it doesn't necessarily warrant being used on every image. Use it on an image that has a central focus point. Like if Max is in the middle and you want people to look at Max, if he's to the left or the right, a vignette can actually not look that great, to be honest. So choose it wisely. Next tab, frame. So you can change frame or change the intensity. The frames are essentially nice ways of framing the image. You've got lots of options here. Intensity changes how much they appear on the screen. I personally wouldn't change the intensity because they are what they are. They look good when they're 100%. When you fade them out a bit, they don't kind of fit with the image that well. Not all, but some look a bit weird. Then we have overlay. You can change the overlay or the intensity. Now an overlay, basically just think about it like texture. It's like putting a photograph over your photograph of a texture that will give it a gritty, grainy, texturized quality. So Good if you want to make it moody, gritty. Then we have logo. You can change the logo, you can change the size, and you can change the intensity. You can also use the analog sticks to change its location. I didn't on this example, but you can do that. So there's lots of logos, size, intensity. Good if you want to make a poster type image. Okay, so that's the photo mode settings. Now let's look at the video mode. If you press the triangle, it will switch between photo and video mode. Now it uses most of the same tabs as the photo mode, barring one for the HUD. You can have the HUD on or off. Personally, I'd have it off because if you're recording video, you don't want the HUD on the screen. And if you press the X button, that will begin your session. So basically, you can do the photo mode stuff in video mode. Then once you've got the right visual style, you can begin the session and gameplay starts with those settings applied. Now, an interesting feature is the use of a second controller. It has many different uses. You can see on screen now, you can start and stop recording, pan up and down, do some slow motion, set alternative camera angles, track Max's movements, and many other options. So this video mode, it's great for people who are budding filmmakers or cinematographers. And if you've got a friend to play the game with, you can get them to play as Max and you can direct them and be the camera operator to create some really nice set pieces. But if you don't know anything about cinematography, then don't worry. It's basically the same principles as photography, but you do also have to factor in movement, motion, transition, things like that. Like here, for example, what you're about to watch is all one take. I just moved the camera from one location to the next to show Max's journey through a location. And that's the key to filming. Have a nice variety of angles of what's happening that you can use to edit together in a sequence.
Don't leave us here! We'll all be scrapified!
And there it is, very simple, but done correctly, you can create some really nice stuff. Mad Max is also great for cinematic things as it has a camera that can really pull away very, very far from Max. So it's great for those widescreen panoramic epic shots of the game world. Okay, so that's the photo and video mode. What's the verdict? Good points, nice wide angles, lots of options. The video mode is really cool. Bad points, no craning in the photo mode. What's that about? And the camera can't be moved in all the menus, which is very annoying. But generally, liked it, very good, 9 out of 10. And there you go. That is the photo mode, the video mode, etc, etc, etc. I hope the video has helped you understand the mode. Go into the game, take some pictures, do a bit of filming, get a friend to help you. You know, you might get run over about 100 times before you get a nice video shot, but trust me, it's worth it when you get it right. Thank you for watching again, thank you for supporting the channel, and I will be back with another episode at some point in the future. Thank you, this is Photography Gamer signing off. Cheers.